So in today's video, we're going to be covering building connections and networking. This was suggested to me by a viewer, so feel free to leave suggestions in the comments below. And we're just going to sit down and talk about those topics. First, you need to realize why it's important. Before we even get into any of this, for me personally, connections are important because everyone has different experiences. You learn from other people. You can help other people with your own experiences. And overall, it's just going to help you grow and others grow. The first half of this video is going to be about initially hitting up somebody, how to provide value for them. And the second half of this video is going to be how to continue to build that relationship and how it helps you grow. So number one is going to be, you have to work on yourself first. I know I just talked all about this. Oh,
connections are great, all that, but
work on yourself. You need to provide value for people, which we'll touch upon in a second. But if you're just some random producer, and I know it's the sad truth, but if you have like a small following, people are going to think of you less instantly.
Basically, what he's trying to say is if you don't have at least 9 billion followers on Instagram, then no artist is going to give a fuck about you.
If you have like a small catalog, you haven't done much yet, people aren't going to really take you seriously, which is why what I did was I would just post beats online. And once I started getting a couple sales, getting my name up, I then hit people up. It doesn't hurt to try in the beginning, but you're going to be more successful if you work on yourself first. And that leads me to number two, which I talked about, value. You need to provide value for these people. For example, say you're coming to a producer and you want to collab. You say, hey, I want to collab. What are they going to say? They're going to say, send me loops. You need to be the provider since you're the one coming to them. You need to provide them loops. Do you know how many times producers have hit me up? They're like,
oh, I love your beats, let's collab. And I'm like,
sure. And they're like, you got any loops? No, I don't. I know some producers have like their weekly loops or whatever, but I know some don't. And I personally don't have the time to just make custom stuff for each and every person. I do make loops, but I send those exclusively to the people that I'm already connected with. 3 kind of ties in with the last one, efficiency. This is because there's been so many times I've hit up an artist. I wanted to send them beats. They gave me their email. I didn't send beats for a week after they gave it to me. They already forgot about me by the time I sent the beats. Most of my placements come from when I send the beats same day, same hour even, but you know, same day, same couple of days from when they originally hit me up or when I hit them up. And then in that is also consistency. Let's say you send beats to an artist, but you didn't get the placement. They could have thought your beats were good just because they didn't use them. And that's why you want to keep sending, keep reaching out, and then eventually it might stick. And now don't do this in a spammy way because there's people who would just keep spamming me. You got to get the hints. If they don't want you, they don't want you. This goes in real life too. If she don't want you, she don't want you, bro. Focus on yourself. Like I said. Those are the key things I remember whenever I hit up somebody. And by now, with all that information in mind, you could be able to get your first few placements, your first few connections. You need to keep building on that and build a relationship with these people. They're not just artists and producers or whatever. They're actual people too. And that's kind of my first thing for this section of the video, is that not everyone's gonna stick. Not every relationship sticks. People come and go, but you could at least give it a chance. And if it doesn't work out, everyone just goes their separate ways and that's fine. Number 2 is going to be mutuals. So by that I mean, say you're working with this one producer and he's friends with 3 producers. He puts you onto those producers. Now you're friends with all them and you could put him onto your friends. So now everybody's kind of meeting new people off of your initial connection. And this works with artists too. I remember my first ever placement was with a smaller artist featuring 2 bigger artists. I hit up the biggest artist that was on this song and I was like, yo, I just produced a song featuring you, wondering if we can work again. Then he actually answered and he was like, yeah, send me beats. So from that first connection, that first sale, I was able to go to another person and work with them as well. And then from that one guy, some artist that he's closely tapped in with also hit me up personally without me even having to reach out. And that's what's good about these connections and networking, is that your name will just get around and eventually they'll come to you instead of you coming to them. 3 is going to be creativity, pushing yourself to a new level. I'm getting calls with artists almost every single day. I've met artists in real life and cooked up. The music comes out better that way. If you get close enough with somebody, ask them to hop in a call and the music will come out better because you got 2 creative minds really here at the same time. You're crafting a beat, you're crafting a song specifically in a way that couldn't be done just through over texting or whatever. So an overall summary is just don't be scared to reach out. I've always been an introverted person or a quiet person, whatever you want to call it. Don't be a bitch. Just reach out to that producer, reach out to that artist. The worst that happens is they leave you on red and they fucking call you trash. So what? Somebody else is bound to think you're good. Somebody else will work with you. Huge shout out to Will for editing this video. He's the GOAT. I'm just gonna wrap things up here. Shout out to Will for editing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, that was good enough, I guess. WVid, something like that.